Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar and welcome to Product Review. In this channel, I review a variety of products including devices, software and several web-based applications. I also showcase several how to do videos, tips and strategies, top 10 videos, and I explain several tech-related concepts. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to convert PowerPoint slides into high-resolution images. Now, it's possible to convert PowerPoint into images, and I'm sure many of you must be knowing how to do that. But the idea is to convert that into images of higher resolution, higher PPI, pixels per inch. Now, before we get on with the actual process, there's a certain amount of confusion regarding PPI and DPI. Now, if you really want to know in depth what a PPI or a DPI actually means, I suggest you go to the description below. There's a link there of one of my videos describing the myth behind the PPI and the DPI and the confusion that occurs in between these two. Because many of the times when people are talking about DPI, they're actually meaning PPI. DPI was the term used for display resolutions at a time when CRT tubes were there. So there the electron would hit the tube, and each electron when it hits, it would create a dot. So everyone talked about dots per inch, DPI. But these days we have digital screens, and therefore we don't talk about DPI, we talk about PPI, pixels per inch. And DPI now has moved on to the realm of printers. So it's more relevant to printing. And so basically what we need to understand is that wherever you see DPI anywhere written, please remember it's PPI. Now, the fact of the matter is that let's understand what is PPI and how it is relevant. Now, PPI is relevant in two contexts. One is printing. How would you like, what is the size of the print that you want to have? Now, remember I also told you DPI is also related to printing, but DPI is not for printing, it is for printer. It is a setting in the printer. Now, PPI, and I'm not going to go into the depth of PPI right now because this is not the video for that. For that, I've already made one, and please go and hit the link below and you'll be able to figure out what that is. PPI, on the other hand, is something that we need to discuss because this is exactly what we are trying to manipulate in this video. We are trying to find out a method by which we can produce high-resolution images using PowerPoint. Now, what generally happens is that PPI matters as to the size of printing rather than the display of the image on the screen. Please understand this very clearly. Now, in this is my computer screen, as you can see. Now, this computer screen has a width of 11.55 inch. This is a tablet cum laptop, it's 2-in-1. It's called Wacom Cintiq Companion. And its width is 11.55 inches and its height, this dimension, is about 6.5 inch. So 11.55 across width and 6.5 inch across the height. Now let's see the screen resolution. Now my screen resolution, which is in fact the highest value here, is 1920 by 1080. Now these are pixels. Remember, display is always in terms of pixels. It is not in terms of inches. When an image is displayed on a screen, it's not displayed based on the size it occupies in inches when it is printed. It is shown in terms of the pixels it occupies. Now, as you can see, it is 1920 by 1080. I've got 1920 by 1080 resolution. This means across this entire 11.55 inch, I got 1920 pixels. So let's go to the calculator. 1920 divided by 11.55. It is 166.23. So 166.23 is the number of pixels per inch in my monitor. The same value you would get even if I were to look at the height. Let's do that also. It's a little bit of math. The total number of pixels in this height was 1080. We call it full HD. Divide this by 6.5, the total width of total height of my screen. Again the same value, 166. So let's keep it as a round figure, 166. So 166 pixels are there in 1 inch of my screen. So in this place, I've got, in every 1 inch of my screen here, I got 166 pixels. Now let us imagine that I have two images, one of 166, remember 166 PPI, it's 166 pixels per inch. Now let's say, for example, that I have an image which has 166 pixels, then it will be displayed across. Now let's assume that the image is at 100%. Now when I say 100%, what I actually mean to say is that if you have an image, you can zoom in and zoom out, right? If you don't zoom in or zoom out, then it is said to be at 100%. If you zoom in, then you're going beyond 100%. If you're zooming out, you're going below 100%. So at its native value, it is 100%. So when an image is 100%, and let us say that it has 166 pixels in its width, then each pixel of the image will be present in each pixel of the screen. My screen has 1920 across and 1080 height. So what it will do is, if its width rather, has 166 pixels, and since my screen has a resolution of 166 ppi, it will be present, and the image is, remember, at 100%, then every pixel of the image will be present in every pixel of my screen. So technically speaking, it will be, and if you print that particular image, its width will be 1 inch. Because it is printed at 100% and its screen resolution is 166 pixels per inch. So it will occupy 1 inch. Now remember one thing, that if I have another image, which has total number of pixels double of 166. So if I have double of 166, let's say, how much is that? I think it is 334. So 334 pixels, or double of 164, whatever the value is. If it has double the pixels, then it will be, now remember, my screen only has 166 pixels per inch. And therefore, in this 1 inch, it cannot display more than 166 pixels if you are at 100% of the image. You have not zoomed in, you have not zoomed out, you are at exactly 166 pixels per inch if it is at 100%. So at 1 inch, it will be 166. So it will be present in 2 inch because it has got double of 166. Now the fact of the matter is that per inch, the image still had 166 pixels, because even though the image had totally 2 into 166 pixels, per inch it can only show 166 pixels because my screen itself has not more than that. And you cannot have more pixels in an image per inch than the screen resolution itself. Now let's go for something half of that. Let's say I have an image which has the width having half of 166 pixels. So obviously the screen, the image size is going to be half of the previous one, because it has got pixels only half of 166. Obviously it cannot be occupying 1 inch, so it will be occupying half of that. Now whenever an image appears on the screen, if there are two images, one is 10 inch, the other is 1 inch, but both have the same number of pixels, then the difference will be in the computer screen, they will appear of the same size. But on printing, the 10 inch will get printed as 10 inch and 1 inch will get printed as 1 inch. Because on the screen, it is the resolution, it's the pixels that matter, not inches. Images on a screen are not displayed in inches, they're displayed in pixels. That's why they all talk about 1920 by 1080 or maybe a 4K resolution. All these are in pixels only, not in inches. So a 10 inch image and a 1 inch image will appear of the same size if the number of pixels are same. On the other hand, if both are 10 inch, but one has double the pixel of the other, then on the screen, the one with double pixels will appear be bigger than the one which had half the pixels. But on printing, both will get printed at the same size, 10 inch, because they were 10 inch. So remember one thing, On display, PPI does not matter because PPI is a function of your screen and not a function of the image. Then why are we trying to make high resolution images? And what does high resolution image actually mean? High resolution image actually means it's an image with more PPI. Why does it matter? Well, it matters for printing. When you want to print a particular image, if it has higher PPI, then it will be more clearer, more sharper. Whereas if it has lesser pixels, then obviously it will be more pixelated, it will not be clear image. It may be even smaller. So if you want to print a big image, you need a large amount of pixels. The reason the photographers are more after megapixels is because you can get larger prints. So if you want something like a billboard or something, then definitely you should have as high a resolution as possible. But at the same time, keep in mind that when you're looking at a billboard or something, you're looking at it at very far off distance, you're not looking at it very closely. So even if the resolution of the printing is not that great, at a greater distance, it doesn't really matter. You'll understand this much, that when you go closer and closer into a picture, only then it starts pixelating. So anyway, so that being the little bit of introduction that I wanted to give you, now let's jump into the exact mechanism of converting a PowerPoint slide into a high resolution image. So welcome back, and now let's open up PowerPoint. PowerPoint is opening up. Let's open a blank presentation. Let's remove this text box, we don't need them. And now let us insert a picture in this. Let's insert this flower. This is the image, okay? Now let's convert this into an image, and this is how you do it. You go to Save As, Browse, and put it wherever you want. Let me put it in the desktop, and I'll call it Flower 1. So it's Flower 1. Save it in the desktop, and remember, we have various formats. One format that we can do is the GIF or the GIF, whatever you may call it, graphics interchange format. The other is JPEG, file interchange format, the one that we generally use. This is PNG, portable network graphics, TIFF, tag image email file format, and then we have Windows meta file, then we have enhanced Windows meta file. These are all image files. You save in any one of these, it will be like an image. I'm going to go for a simple one, JPEG, which is what we generally do. And the title is Flower 1 JPEG, and I say save. Now it will ask me which slide I want to save. Though I have only one slide, it doesn't really matter which one I click. I can click all sides, still it will save only one of them. Or I can say just this one, the one which is open. If you have multiple slides, then hit just this one by opening the slide first, the one that you want to convert into an image. And if you have only one slide, it really doesn't matter. So I hit just this once. It's saved now. So let's go to, here's the image, Flower JPEG. Now let's look at the properties. And look at the file size. Remember the file size is 98.1 KB. Size on disk is 100 KB. Doesn't matter. And look at the resolution. It's 1280 into 720. 1280 pixel wide and 720 pixel height. And look at the DPI. Now remember, this is the problem that starts. It is not DPI, it's PPI. Because we are talking about a digital monitor like my laptop, and therefore this is 96 PPI and not DPI. That's why I said in the beginning, wherever DPI appears, read it as PPI. So it's 96 PPI, which means in every inch it has got 96 pixels. So that is the way it is going to appear. Now let's go down and you will see again the file size is 98.1 KB, and so that's the basic logic here. 96 DPI. Now this is the default resolution of PowerPoint slides. Now let's save this presentation. You want to come back to it. Let's save this in again desktop, and we call it Flower, and let's save it as PowerPoint slide. Okay, let's close this. Now we want to increase the resolution of PowerPoint images. By default, it will always be 96 pixels per inch, 96 PPI. So now let's understand how we are going to increase it. So the first thing you're going to do, go to this Windows logo, right click and click Run. Remember, I'm using Windows 8.1, you may be using Windows 10. Accordingly, try to figure out where Run is. It should be there, right click on Windows logo. And then type regedit, 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 and then click OK. It will ask you for something, say yes. So the moment you click Run and you say OK, this is the page that you're going to get. It's called Registry Editor. And you got a lot of H key. You need to go to H key current user, the one which is already selected here. H key current user. And you see the arrow here, you have to hit the arrow. So hit the arrow. And then you go to software. Look for software. This is software. Hit software. Now look for Microsoft. This is Microsoft. Hit this particular arrow key. Then you got to look for Office. Here is Office. Click the arrow here, Office. Now you have to hit one of these values 11, 12, 14, 15, 16. I'll explain what they are. If you're using PowerPoint 2003, then you have to hit 11, the arrow key of 11. If you're using 2007 PPT, then it will be 12. 2010, 14. 2013, 15. 2016, 16. 8 you don't have to hit because you have only Outlook in this. So your Office will be in one of these versions. 11, 12, 14, 15 or 16. I'm going to hit 16 because I got PowerPoint 2016. So once you hit that, you will see PowerPoint. Where is PowerPoint here? Here is PowerPoint. So hit PowerPoint. Now you will see something called Options. Now there is no arrow here. So just click on Options. You will be presented with some files on the right side. App, maximized, auto preview, bottom, blah, blah, blah. They don't really bother about these things. Now what you need to do is, you got to go to Edit. Edit is here. Click Edit. And what you have to do is hit New. And in New, you have to hit D-word value. This one, the first one, D-word, not the keyword, the D-word value. It is 32-bit. Doesn't matter whether your computer is 32 or 64. You just have to hit D-word. So I hit this value. And you will be creating a new file. And you have to name this file in the following way. You have to write export, E-X-P-O-R-T, then bitmap without any space, B-I-T-M-A-P, then without any space, resolution. The caps don't matter, but export bitmap resolution without any space, and then click enter. You created a new file. Now, it is already selected because this is what we created right now. So let it be selected, then go back to Edit and now click Modify. In Edit, click Modify. And in Modify, it says hexadecimal, go to decimal. Now remember, you can input values between 50 to 307 in the value data. And whatever value you put, that will be the resolution you'll get. For example, let's go to the maximum one, 307. If I put more than 307, automatically it will only go for 307 resolution. So let me put 307, which means now my image is going to be 307 pixels per inch. And I click OK. And then close this. Now let's go back to the same presentation with the image. Again, let's go to Save As. More options. I want to save it in my desktop, and this time I'm going to save it as Flower 2. And again, it's going to be JPEG. Save. just this one. Alright, now we got two images here. Now this is flower 2, this is flower 1. Let's open up both. Flower 1, remember, was the original one. It had a file size of 98.1 KB and it had 1280 pixels into 720 and it had 96 DPI. Now let's look at flower 2. Let's hit properties and let's hit details. Now look at the pixels. Can you see 307 DPI? It actually means PPI, of course. And now the pixels have increased in size because now for every inch I got 307. So what it has done is it has increased the pixels of this image. Now the softwares have the algorithm in them to do so, but this kind of an increase in pixels is actually not that good for printing. It will never mimic the printing quality of an actual image taken in this kind of pixel. For example, if you have an image which is 100 pixels, 100 PPI, and you make it 500 PPI. Now the printing, the final quality of the print of that 500 PPI image will not be as good as if the image had originally been shot at 500 PPI. So it can never match the original quality because the algorithm does do a bit of increase of pixels by trying to figure out what pixels are there in a particular region and try to mimic that particular pixel, but can never be as intelligent as a camera would be at the time of capturing, because what is being captured in a camera is a natural thing. So any artificial means cannot mimic that at all. So 307 DPI. Now let's look at the file size. Can you see the file size has become 601 KB? It is increase in value. Now the question is, why would you want to increase the PPI? Well, it's not a question of why would you want to. Sometimes you might even want to decrease the PPI. For example, if you have an image which is, let's say, 3 MB in size and you want to use it as a thumbnail in your YouTube videos. Now YouTube videos cannot have a thumbnail of 2 MB or more. Even 2 MB it will not accept, even though it says the limit is 2 MB. So you need something like less than 2 MB. So if you have 3.5 MB, what do? You decrease the PPI. One way of doing that is use a very intelligent software like Photoshop. And if it is too complicated for you, just use PowerPoint and put any value that you want. And you can go from 50 to 307. So try to bring down the PPI and automatically the file size will decrease. And here I'm going to show you a table that I had made just for this particular purpose to show you what are the various dimensions that you're going to get. Look at this one. Now it says if the decimal value is 50, then the full screen pixels will be 500 into 375. The widescreen pixels will be this. This is 4:3 ratio. And this is 16:9 ratio. And this is the dots per inch, which actually implies pixels per inch, remember. So if you put 50, you get 50. 96 is the default value, which is what we got in the first flower 1 image. And so these are some of the, and please do not think that these are the only values you can put. You can put any value in between these and you will be able to get a particular resolution of the image. Now let me also show you the preview of the image before we end this session. And let us say preview. Can we go to flower 1? Yeah. Can you see this is smaller? This is bigger because it has got more pixels. On a screen, if an image appears bigger, it means it has more pixels. It's not because of inches. Both can be printed at the same size. One will have less pixels, the other will have more pixels. So that was how you convert a PowerPoint slide into a high resolution image. I hope this video helped you in understanding how that is. And again, I repeat, if you want to really understand between PPI and DPI, just check out one of my videos I made. The link is there in the description below. I hope this video helped you in understanding in general how you can increase or decrease the PPI of an image using PowerPoint. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any queries, any doubts, anything that you would like to comment on, please drop them in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I encourage you to subscribe to it. And I'll be posting a lot of videos on tech related concepts, on how to do videos, top 10 videos, tips and strategies. I do a lot of product review, unboxing videos. So if you're interested in tech videos, this is the channel you should go for. Subscribe to it. and you will get immediate intimation of the video being posted by me the moment I post them on YouTube. And if you do like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. This is Kalyan Kumar signing off. Have a great day. Goodbye and thank you for watching.